Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of our month-long coverage of Disneyland. This week we are focusing on dining at Disneyland. Specifically, in this episode, we're going to be talking about our top 4 favorite table service restaurants at the Disneyland Resort. Before we get to that, I just want to remind everyone that you have a chance to win a 5-day, 4-night package at Disneyland. And we're doing that for the next 2 months. We're running that through July, and we'll be announcing the winner of that contest on our 10th anniversary show on July 25th at the Cirque du Soleil Theater live from Disney Springs. So we're not just giving away one package, we're giving away 2. And if you want details on how to enter and all the stuff that you need to know about it, all you need to do is go to wdwinfo.com/Disneyland, click on the link for the contest, and you'll get everything you need to know there. So it's wdwinfo.com/Disneyland for a chance to win a 5-day, 4-night package at the Disneyland Resort. But let me introduce who we have at the table for this episode. Our associate producer, Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
The host of the Disneyland edition of the DIS Unplugged, Mr. Tom Bell.
Hey, folks.
Our esteemed producer, Mr. Craig Williams.
Hello.
And, of course, the president of the DIS and my right-hand man, although he's on my left right now, Mr. Corey Martin.
I'm just happy to be here.
And back monitoring the controls, looking terrified,
As I should be.
is our associate producer, Oliver Green.
Hello.
And Oliver was not with us on the trip that we took in April to gather all this content that we're presenting this month. But Oliver will be the voice of, every so often, of the person who's never been to Disneyland. And what questions it brings up for him. So if you've never been to Disneyland, Oliver is your representative here. And if he doesn't say anything, it's Oliver at... Kidding. All right, so we are talking about our top 4 table service restaurants at Disneyland in this episode. So we're going to get right to it. Our number 4 pick, Cafe Orleans at the Disneyland Park. And we have specific reasons why we picked this one. Now, for me personally, it's the Monte Cristo. That is like they're famous for their Monte Cristo, and for those who are not familiar with it, because the Monte Cristo is done differently in different places. It's not one set recipe, I think, but at this particular restaurant, it is basically a deep fried ham and cheese sandwich with powdered sugar and jam on top, and it's
So good.
Yeah, and I think it's like 1,200 calories or something.
It looks like
At least.
That's a low ball, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's what they told me.
The heart
Really?
stopper.
Really?
That's what they told me. But it's one of those guilty indulgences that if you're in Disneyland and you're looking for a place to eat and you want something really iconic that this place is known for, you can't go wrong with the Monte Cristo. You can't go wrong.
And they also do have a 3-cheese Monte Cristo, but don't get fooled. It's not the ham and the turkey and then 3 types of cheeses in there. That's more like the deep-fried grilled cheese sandwich that you never knew existed and will stop your heart even quicker than the Monte Cristo will.
Oh, yeah.
Now, 2 of the other things that really stood out to us about Cafe Orleans, the Pommes Frites, which are Parmesan French fries, but with this delicious remoulade. It's actually Thousand Island dressing and mayonnaise and some other spices in it. It's quite delicious.
they were definitely a hit. There wasn't a fry left on the table.
You
Like
can't stop
licking
eating
those
them.
things they came
Yeah.
in. Like
You can't stop eating them. The other thing that was a big hit for us at Cafe Orleans was the fried green tomato sandwich.
Yeah, I love that. I'm a big fried green tomato fan. My mother made me watch the movie too much as a kid, so anytime it's on a menu, I'll order it.
Is that what happened to you?
That's part of what happened to me, I think. So, yeah, but here it was super good, real good, and it's so funny because everyone who ordered the Monte Cristo, like you said, it was like a ham sandwich, but like they have to cut it in force because when they deep fry it, it balloons up so big. So everyone had these giant plates, and then my little plate of like this little fried green tomato sandwich. But it made me feel a little better. But I did eat quarter of everybody's.
Well, and I had some of your fried green tomato sandwich too, and I love fried green tomato sandwiches. That was like one of my favorite staples at Hungry Bear back whenever they still had it on the menu. So it's great that you can still get it somewhere in Disneyland.
Yeah.
So that's what we love. You want to add anything about
No,
it?
I was just going to say that I think the thing I like about Cafe Orleans is the view. Sit out on the patio, overlooking the rivers of America. It's really cool.
It's a great location.
Yeah.
It's in New Orleans Square, hence Cafe Orleans. And it is. If I'm going to have lunch in the Disneyland park, that's probably going to be my first stop.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my favorite thing about that restaurant that I found out when we went to eat there. Unlimited mint juleps. They'll just keep filling you up. They'll just you go in and have lunch there. It was worth it for me.
As
7 of them.
As some of you may have heard me mention previously on this trip, Rhino got a new name. He is now and forevermore known as the Lady Julep, because for a week, all I heard about was mint julep, mint julep, mint julep, mint julep, mint julep. And when you watch the episode on our favorite snacks,
You'll see.
which is coming up, you will understand why.
Yeah.
But I think I want all his lower thirds now to read The Lady Julep. Not Rhino Clavin, but associate producer, The Lady Julep. All right, so we'll move on from Cafe. Does anybody else have anything on Cafe Orleans you want to get in?
I do have one more thing. Like, if you're gonna go check this out and eat here, inside of Cafe Orleans, they have Walt Disney, the espresso machine he bought for his wife when he was in Italy, I believe. But it's still in there on display. And if you Google any image of that, like Walt Disney espresso machine, the famous shot of him with it, it's still like you can see it's been in this restaurant for years. So it's just like one of those nice little things that's kind of left over from years past.
Nice touch.
You know? Yeah.
Nice touch. All right, number 3 on our list of best table service restaurants at the Disneyland Resort goes to Carthay Circle, which is in California Adventure. This is a newer addition to the offerings, but it is another one of the restaurants that is helmed by the legendary chef Andrew Sutton, who is also responsible for Napa Rose.
Right.
And this is an incredible table service experience. The Carthay Circle is part of Disney lore because that was the theater where Snow White premiered back in 1940. And so it's a recreation of that theater, and we actually were able to get a tour from the general manager, which you'll see in our
37, yeah.
Oh, okay. So anyway, we were actually able to get a tour. We are putting that video up, right? The tour?
Yes.
So if you head out to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/DIS Unplugged. I'm never sure.
Looking at you, the producer.
I'm looking at you, producer. youtube.com/DIS Unplugged. You're going to find all the supporting video that we have to go along with this. So we got a ton of content going up, and you can see the tour that we shot at the Carthay Circle. But talking about the food, when you first sit down, the first thing before you even exchange a pleasantry with your server, demand, if you have to slam your fist on the table, demand the Carthay signature fried biscuits. Why? Because they are stuffed with white cheddar, bacon, jalapeno, and they are served with an apricot honey butter. Your life will never be the same.
I'm like literally salivating right now.
They're unbelievable, and it's not bad enough that good rolls at a restaurant are like, oh, I want another one. These are like, I need rehab to stop eating these. They are so incredibly good.
Yeah.
Anybody disagree with me on that?
No.
No. I was prepared
didn't try
not
them.
to like them. What?
I didn't.
What is the matter with you?
I don't know.
You're fired.
If it's not just solid animal meat,
Yeah,
Corey's
I think
very
that's it. I think
unreceptive
there
to
was,
trying
there
it.
was no meat in it.
Yeah, it's the caveman thing he's got going on. Another thing that really impressed us at this restaurant were the firecracker duck wings.
I did
Those are
try
so
those.
good.
They were, and
They are spicy.
Pay attention to the firecracker part because they are delicious. But it's like, and I'm not a big spicy fan. I'm not into spicy foods. But I couldn't stop eating these.
Yeah. And
I had to because I'm like, okay, bad things are going to happen tonight if I don't stop eating these things.
And these things are absolutely fresh. I believe they're actually made from the ducks that you'll see roaming around Disneyland and Disney California Adventure.
They were very fresh.
They use the cats to catch them. But they're cooked. Yeah, they're so well cooked. I was just like, I'll try this little piece of one because I usually don't like meat on the bone, and I think I ended up eating like 5 or 6 of them.
Oh, they fall right off the bone. These are some of the best wings you'll find anywhere. I love them.
And even if you don't like duck, I mean, these are.
Now we also had our wrap party, our wrap dinner.
Oh yes, that was super nice.
In the what was the name of that room? The Buena Vista room.
Right.
So it is the Taylor Swift room.
The Taylor Swift room because she'd had dinner in there like a few nights before.
We saved the chair for her too.
And this menu changes constantly. So what we had then probably isn't on the menu now. Probably won't be on the menu when you're there. But I know I had the pork chops, which were, ridiculous. What did you have?
I can't remember. I think I got a fish. I think there was a salmon.
Yeah.
Because I usually try and order that, and I just remember every single thing we ate that night in that dinner was just incredible, phenomenal. I even got. I was so full by the end, but they have 60th anniversary desserts that you can get, and there's 4 of them.
Truffles.
Yeah, and they're themed to the drinks of the restaurant. So they come with alcohol, and then when I finally ate them the other night, I was trying to save a little piece of Disneyland to bring home with me. They were phenomenal too. So you definitely have to try all aspects of the menu when you're there for sure.
Yeah, and it's again, it's first rate. This is first rate food. Anybody else have an experience at Carthay that particularly stands out to them?
I actually I had the same thing you had. I usually when I go to restaurants, I don't order a pork chop. It's not my go-to because I don't like. Usually pork chops tend
There's
to
not
be
enough meat on it.
That and they tend to be overly cooked. I like it very juicy. And the server assured me that this was going to be perfect to my liking, and it was excellent.
It was very good. Anything else from Carthay that stands out?
No, the people that worked there were incredible.
Oh my God,
we befriended one of them.
Well, yeah, one of the servers we had is the guy. We talked about the tour that we took.
Well, yeah, I was going to mention guests can take that tour,
and you can take that tour, but one of our servers was the guy who wrote the tour.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he was young. He was like 25 years old, and
Michael Bowling Jr. Yeah,
he was Michael Bowling Jr. He was so knowledgeable about Walt and this restaurant and it was incredible. So the service was second to none. I mean, just phenomenal service.
It's a must hit. It's definitely
you absolutely have to do Carthay Circle, no question.
Yeah, and even if you don't sit down, just stop in the lounge.
Talk about the lounge. Talk about the lounge.
Oh, the lounge is perfect. So, Carthay does have a bunch of signature cocktails that are pretty amazing. Like the Manhattan and the Martini. But then you can also get a different selection of kind of finger foods and such that isn't on the main menu for the restaurant, too. So even if you are eating up there, it's worth giving a shot just in the lounge area. And you still... It's one of those places, sitting in the lounge, being able to see the pictures and look at some of the memorabilia that they have from the archives there. You forget that you're inside a theme park whenever you're in the lounge and that restaurant in general. And, that was the intention, and they nailed it.
You can go there, too, and get Walt's signature drink as well, because we went and tried it, the Scotch Mist. Yes. And all their drinks
battery acid and soda.
Yeah, pretty much. No, straight up, too.
Scotch and water.
But
Scotch and ice.
Yeah, a thing about that too is that in there you're getting all the drinks are doubles, so you pay like $13-14 for a drink, but it's worth it.
It's the
worth
environment
an experience
alone,
all around. Yeah.
So that's Carthay Circle. That's our number 3 pick, and some people might disagree with us on the order of these, but number 2 for us Steakhouse 55 at the Disneyland Hotel. The reason I voted Steakhouse 55 above Carthay Circle was... sorry, just got a text message. The reason I voted for it second here is above Carthay Circle is that it has been so consistently good for so many years throughout all the visits I've taken to Disneyland, and this is even when it was Granville's, before it changed its name to Steakhouse 55, that the consistency of it and the outstanding quality of the steaks. There are very few places, I think, personally, where you're going to get a steak this good.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable.
Yeah, we had sampled a lot of food that first day, or I don't remember if we went the first or the second day, but we'd already eaten a lot, and I remember going and being really full, and I had gone to Disneyland last year for the first time with you, and you took us all there the first night, and I remember it being great. So Steve and I ended up splitting a steak, and I regret it as soon as I started eating, because I was just like, all of a sudden I'm not full anymore, and I want this whole thing, and how can I just accidentally get that knife through Steve's hand so he gets away from the steak? You know, like good.
There were a few items on the menu that really stood out to us. The ribeye is really, that's their signature steak, and there's a good reason.
18-ounce bone-in with their dry rub.
Oh, yeah.
I can taste it now. I can really taste it now.
You having sensory recall. The potatoes au gratin
Oh, yeah.
are absurd. It's like, how many layers? It's like this really like layered potatoes au gratin.
Okay, you just said it. Potatoes en gratin. For a second there, I thought the dish was genuinely called "The Potatoes Are Rotten." I'm sorry about that.
You can go to this place and get these horrible potatoes, but we love them.
Potatoes au gratin. That's a staple. That's been a staple of this restaurant and very popular dish. I thought the French onion soup was phenomenal. One of the best I've ever had. And you'd think that it would be easy to make French onion soup, but if you have it in enough places, you realize a lot of places just don't do it well. And when you find a place that does, it means something. So for me, French onion soup here. But let's be honest, the real piece de resistance is that 24-layer chocolate cake.
Oh my God, it's like the thing that, you know, they do a quick drive-by through the restaurant with it on the plate, like, oh, somebody ordered this, but it's really just so everybody in the restaurant sees it and orders
10 inches high, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's massive.
It's just this big wall of chocolate. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of times, especially at Disney, you'll see a dessert like, oh my God, that looks good. And then you take a bite of it and you realize that Disney has run it through a flavor vacuum. And how can you make something this beautiful taste this bland? Not here. This was absolutely every bit as delicious as it looked.
Yeah.
My favorite dessert is actually when y'all were doing that, I was cleaning up all the bone marrow that comes with the steaks.
Yeah, we have pictures from last year. You ate everybody. We had like 10 people out there, and Corey ate everybody's bone marrow. We have a picture of him with a plate.
It just sounds weird, right?
Yeah, Corey sucks on the bone. Yeah. Corey, the way he stays young and fit is he sucks on the bone marrow of children.
That's so weird.
And so yeah, Steakhouse 55 at the Disneyland Hotel is another must do in terms of signature restaurants. But number one should come as no surprise to anyone that's been out there or done any research. I can't imagine any other restaurant being number one on a list of top table service restaurants at Disneyland. That is, of course, Napa Rose. Napa Rose is in the Grand Californian, and it's impossible for us to talk about specific dishes because it changes almost daily. The menu is in constant flux because it's all locally sourced. It's all fresh. It's, what does the chef find at market that day? And they do these amazing, these dishes are art. I mean, really and truly, it's art. And this restaurant has won so many awards and has had so much acclaim since the day it opened. You're going to say something.
Oh, this is my absolute favorite restaurant on property. I mean, that's why it is number one for this collection, but personally, I love this place. And to talk about the freshness of the food and how they pick stuff right from the market. The day that we were there, kind of getting a peek at some of the dishes that they were showing us, the head chef there was literally, she was taking a fish, a giant, it had to be a 30 or 40 pound fish, and she was literally filleting it right in front of us.
And she was,
I'm pretty sure she had caught that fish herself like an hour before. But that's the kitchen.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had a couple meals there. We've had some together as a team in past trips, and there was one time I went and ate at the chef's table there, and that was one of the best experiences I'd ever had dining in my life, because they just literally ask you what you like, and then they create this extravagant meal there for you, and if you're nice, maybe they'll throw in a little bit extra. But even this trip, my mom gave me a gift card, $150 gift card for my birthday. So whenever we got to the last night, I didn't get to eat at Carthay with you guys. I had to go film fireworks. So I treated myself to a me party at Napa Rose, sitting at the bar, and had a meal there, and it was just outstanding. It was out of this world. I had lamb. I had this rabbit stew. I had this dessert that was just fantastic. I love this place. I would move in if they would let me.
I enjoy restaurants where the kitchen is open and on display. It's like we have nothing to hide. You can watch us do everything. I enjoy, because it's an art. You're watching them put together this piece that you almost don't want to eat, and all the attention to detail that goes into it, and you see how much time and effort goes into that one little dish that takes me 1 second to eat.
And this restaurant is also known for its wine pairings. It has an extensive wine collection. It also, every server at the restaurant is a sommelier. Oh. So they're all experts with wine. They know exactly how to pair the right wine for your tastes with the dish that you're ordering. I mean, so especially if you're really the kind of person that really likes to do that wine pairing with your meals, I don't think there's any place you can do better than Napa Rose. I'm not just talking about Disneyland. I'm talking about anywhere. It really is quite the experience.
Yeah. I mean, this is the restaurant of celebrities. John and Kevin love telling their story of during D23 this past year, they were in eating at the lounge, and that's where they got to see Richard Sherman and George Lucas both sitting there having meals. So, if it's good enough for them, I think it's kind of good enough for all of us.
Well, it's that's the reason why there's just no way we could not have Napa Rose at the top of the list. But those are our four favorite for our team. Our four favorite table service restaurants at the Disneyland Resort: Cafe Orleans in the Disneyland Park, Carthay Circle and California Adventure, Steakhouse 55 at the Disneyland Hotel, and Napa Rose at Disney's Grand Californian. So that will do it for this installment of our special coverage of Disneyland. And we'll be back with you again next time with another episode of the DIS Unplugged. Thanks for being with us, everyone, and remember, go to Disneyland.